All right, Anissa, are you ready to submit to the accountability of this call right now? Judging
What do you
by
mean by submit?
judging by your face, maybe not.
Well,
Let me
tell me what you mean by submit.
Well, just to put yourself in the crosshairs of accountability and just tell us, remember what we've been talking about. Like the specialization should be like a phrase. Like you should be able to coin it into like a title, a phrase, something simple. The simpler, the better. All right. And you focus on that. And some agents might be going, why would we do that? Why would we want to focus on one thing when buyers are looking at multiple different things? Or we could get a seller that is from, way across the county, or we may not get that seller because we've pigeonholed ourselves to this specialization. So what we may need to do is like debunk that. But the best thing I can tell you, the best thing I've ever heard that promotes this strategy in real estate is that specializing removes selling. Specializing removes your or a lot of the load you have to carry when it is selling yourself, right? You want to be selected, right? Blake, are you just waving or you got
Yeah, because I'll come up with Anissa's. So Anissa, what I would tell you to do is right now you do a lot of wedding photographies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a really logical move in how you keep it, because we can't get rid of it, right? And it
Oh
would
yeah.
be, you specialize in first time newlyweds. You know what I'm saying? Like you vibing with what I'm saying. Is that kind of on the rate of what you're talking about there, Jason? Would that be a good one? Like she's around all these new people getting married, snapping pics, and it'd be great if she could transition that into, I don't know how you would. I mean, it's not like somebody's going to be doing the dad bride dance and Anissa's like, hey,
let me cut in. You guys have an agent?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have an idea how to do that.
Maybe that's
I'm gonna put a QR code on my T-shirt up front that said I'm a photographer, but on the back I'm gonna say, "Hey, do you need a realtor?" I can do that too.
whatever you want to do.
It's rare that I say this, but Blake does have moments when he says stuff that's actually very important.
Hell yeah, and it's recorded.
Yeah, so I will give him props this morning. But this is the exact same reason why a lot of real estate agents work bridal shows, like wedding shows, whatever those things are. There's one in Mobile, Alabama, like the Bridal Expo that Diana worked one year back, way back when she was selling real estate, and picked up a number of clients working those. So you would start doing those. But here's something I'll just tell you, like, that I'm doing. Like, people will say, like, why are you selling t-shirts and hats and stuff? Well, gosh, I mean, the conversations it creates with people, but it also allows me to go to like a expo or some kind of home builder show or boat show or whatever, and actually make some money to cover the cost of the $800 or $850 it costs to reserve a booth. So I can cover my cost, hopefully walk away with some money. But I'm sitting there conversing with people. Like if you go to one of those shows as a real estate agent, here's the other thing. I mean, when I went to the boat show, I looked at this big Remax guy had a blow up Remax balloon. He had all this crazy stuff. I mean, his booth looked amazing. Mm-hmm. What are you going to stop to talk to that guy about? I mean, you're realistically not going to pony up to that guy's booth and go, "Hey, what's my home worth?" I mean, they're like, "Oh, let me get away from this freaking parasite real estate agent real quick, and let me go down to the booth and talk to the folks that are selling, hats and earrings and stickers and stuff, and strike up a conversation with them because I don't want to be sold on anything." So you do have this unique ability to do that. So I think that would be potentially a first-time homebuyer specialist.
And I've already been having, conversation about it with my, past couples and future couples. So I'm building a ground for that. That's for sure.
To me, it just makes a lot of logical sense. Anissa, like you're going to have their email. Like they're going to be giving you that for photography. You just move that directly in. I wouldn't even ask. That's just me. I'd immediately go from, hey, we're emailing about pictures. Boom, here's houses in Huntsville.
Well, it's just one of those things. It's like people that buy lake houses, the next purchase is a boat. I mean, people that
Yeah.
get married, the next logical purchase is a house. So it really goes well together. And if you love wedding photography, if you love weddings, I know you love. So I picked up on that from your social media.
Yeah.
This may be perfect, right? So this is ideal. Like I think, and it doesn't have to be as I don't know, picture perfect as this. I mean, Alex, I think, would just like a specialization that pays him money on a consistent basis. So if we go out and do this new construction marketing on Wednesday, and let's say within a reasonable time frame, he sells something from that activity, this dude's going to be like, I mean, he could be allergic to sawdust and go, I love new construction. Woo! So that's as simple as it's going to be. Like he's going to be like, man, I love the smell of lumber cutting in the morning because it pays me dollar bills.
Actually, I think Alex even has his foot in the door, whether he thinks it or not, because he can speak
Spanish,
Espanol, whatever, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
what you were looking for.
I can't,
I know that's tongue twister.
but you get the benefit of that, Alex. So, like, going with Jason doing this new construction stuff is just extra bullets in the gut. You can speak the language I can't speak.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. So part of being a new construction specialist is you ride through these new construction communities on a consistent basis. You're riding through there to get content. You may be checking on, hopefully at some point, you'll be checking on a client's build, just making sure, a lot of times these clients don't have time to run out to the job site and see what's going on. And sometimes you got an on-site salesperson like with DR Horton or Lennar or whomever who may be very good about, updating their clients on what's happening, new updates on the construction process. But like Alex can get in there and converse with all those people on the job site that are, maybe taking a break from the hammer and nails to have a, lunch break and just talk to them and go, hey, this is what I'm doing. You're going to see me a lot more often, start building relationships with these people. All those people are probably at one time or another going to be interested in purchasing something or know somebody who is. Anissa, real quick before we just get too off of yours, the other thing I was thinking about is if you're going to be a new a first-time homebuyer specialist, you need to understand. I mean, everybody needs, I would say, a cursory knowledge of loan programs, but you as a first-time homebuyer specialist would need to know all the ins and outs, FHA, VA, conventional, FHFA, I mean, all the things. So you would need to be researching all the loan programs, and a really good way to do that is to reach out to local lenders. So you really need to be recommending 3. And so, even if you don't use Diana, I would use her as an educational resource, but you probably want to have maybe 2 locally, maybe 1 in Huntsville, 1 in Madison, talk to other agents and see who they really like, rave about. You can go on Facebook today and go, hey, who are your top 3 lenders that you recommend in, Huntsville, Madison, and reach out to those people, take them to lunch or coffee. Coffee's a lot cheaper. A lot of times they'll pay for it. Pick their brain on loan programs. A lot of them, like Diana has a mortgage cheat sheet. You could commit that to memory. But understanding the ins and outs of, real estate financing, I think is key. So you'd want to understand that. Alex would want to be able to stay up to speed on all the different incentives that the builders are offering now, from rate buy downs to upgrades to all the things. And so he could create content around that. I mean, this is one of these things I don't want to, we kick the can down the road. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that this is going to make your life so much easier if you're known for something. But I want you to, before we move on, I want you to just kind of take a page out of just the business world. So you think about this, whether it's car dealerships, Apple, restaurants. We've talked about attorneys a lot. An attorney can have a billboard with like 7 different things they specialize in. So that's why Alexander Shinara says accident and personal injury. I mean, that's what that's his one thing he wants to be known for. But that doesn't mean he can't help you get divorced or help you get out of a DUI. He can. So that's just how it works. Like when people think, oh, who's got the best margarita in town? That's how that all works. Okay. What do you want to be known for? What are you known for? Our whole job is to be well known by as many people as possible. And being known for one specific thing is going to help you get there. All right. Anything else on specialization before we move on? So come next week, like, if you join this call, you'd want to have something or say, well, I've been out trying this. If you want to dive deeper on it, we can do it on a one-on-one basis. I can help you try to self-discover what that is. But a big way to do that is to get out there and do something about it. Try different things, look at different things and see what sticks. Blake?
Right. But it's important to understand, though, if you're feeling anxiety, which we've all felt, me included, after doing a certain amount of these calls with Jason, that's a good sign, right? Like your growth comes in your discomfort, right? Like it's not people that want to make exceptional money. It's pretty simple. You have to do what others won't. So, like for me, it was social media, right? Didn't like it, didn't want to do it. Been perfectly happy with it all going away. But at the end of the day, like it's kind of the route we're gonna have to go, right? And
So
I don't.
proud of you, by the way, Blake. You do
Me
so
too.
good.
Me too. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
AI.
I mean, he's a freaking social media animal now. It's amazing.
Yeah, but listen, I did that for y'all because I want y'all to know. I think everybody on this call knows how much I fucking hate. I don't know if I can say that. I probably.
Yeah, some people are at work.
Yeah, I really hate social media, right? And I knew that Jason was poking and poking, wouldn't shut up about it to the point that it was just like, damn it, I'm going to have to do this, right? Mm-hmm. So I did that for y'all to show if I can do social media, Alex, you can get out and do a video in Latin or Spanish or whatever out in front of a Roush Coleman home and say, look, these are the incentives. This is the Fremont floor plan in Spanish,
Yeah, we got that part. All right. So Chris, next week, you're going to have a specialization or at least thoughts of specialization. I mean, that accountability shouldn't scare you, right? I mean, because this is a direction you need to go. And here's one thing I'll tell you before we move on to another topic is that just don't take my word for it. Do some research on this. Look around at the top agents in your marketplace. They have a specialization. A specialization can be an area. It can be a subdivision. I mean, it's so broad. I've said this many times, and I love saying it. So I'll say it again: is that one of the things that I appreciate most about the real estate industry is it's not one size fits all. I mean, if we don't want to work with sellers ever, we don't have to. We can make a great living just working with buyers. If we are legit allergic to sawdust, we don't have to worry about new construction ever. So, you can find something. I guarantee you can find something that speaks to your soul in this industry. And when you find that thing and it feeds your soul, but also feeds your bank account, you're unstoppable. Okay. All right. Next thing I want to talk about this morning is just kind of what we're focused on daily, weekly. Like what is our goal? How do we know we have a productive day or week? Okay. And so for Blake, I want to just throw out some examples here. Blake wants to at least send 2 people per week to his preferred lender team to get pre-qualified. Okay. So I judge my day on whether I set an appointment. I'm focused on face-to-face. I want to get face-to-face with people. I've been historically bad at that. I get real sucked into behind the computer and being the guy behind the guy, but that's one of those things. Like real estate's a relationship-based business. And so I got to get out there and force myself to meet people. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm a big introvert, a big homebody, and I don't need to interact with people all that much. Okay. But that just goes against the grain of this industry. So Samantha got her hand up. Awesome. What do you have to say for us there?
So I have a question for you. So you're saying that you make appointments. Are you saying that you meet with them before you let them look at a house? Or because I talk to people all the time. I'm definitely not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. So I could
Okay.
talk to a fly on the wall. But how you're saying that you meet with them? Are you saying that you just meet with them like at a coffee shop? Or how are you meeting with them? Are you wanting to meet with them at a house? Because I've had several people that I've been trying to like, oh, let's go look at a house. But it's not going like I want it to. So do you just meet them just to so they can get to know you, so y'all can communicate? What do you mean by meet with them?
Yeah, so I want to actually set a physical appointment to where I will meet with them. So it could be coffee, it could be a lunch appointment, it could be a showing appointment, it could be a listing appointment, it could be a home value appointment, but I want to get in front of people as soon as possible. It could even be, Samantha, it could even be a Zoom appointment, but just making some eye contact, that's really, really important. So you may be having conversations with somebody over a period of weeks and months. You go like, hey, I'd really love to put a face with a name. Do you think we could do it? Are you comfortable with Zoom? You ever done a Zoom call before? Let's jump on a Zoom so we can get face to face. That's how you build loyalty.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
Putting
I
a
was just
face with the name is very important. Blake?
on the phone. I was just telling you, he's not focused on the end game. And the end game is it closes, we get paid. Jason's taking a micro goal. I want to set one appointment. I don't care where it leads. I'm just trying to get in front of people because I'm an introvert. Whether that's coffee, whether that's showings, whether that's a for sale by owner that he feels like maybe a waste of time, whatever it is, he just wants to have one appointment. My appointment is two people get sent an application a week, right? Whether they're going to fill it out or not is not my end game. I'm hoping that they do. But then it gives me a reason to fall back up. Same as Jason. He gets a reason to fall up. Hey, enjoyed having coffee with you. You get what he's saying?
Yeah.
He's not, his goal is not to get one person a day that is, hey, I'm buying a house tomorrow.
So, Samantha, let me simplify this just a bit for you. I think it might be helpful. So, what I'm saying is that, well, first of all, real estate is a relationship business. The real estate agents that you see doing the most business around you are very relationship centric. Okay. So what I'm telling you is I don't even really like going out, like hanging out with people. I don't like going over to somebody's house. I don't like socializing with people. I prefer dogs over people. Okay. Unless bourbon's involved. So Sunday, Diana was like, let's go have some margaritas with this couple and visit with them. And I was like, I don't want to go. She's like, you're going. So it's something like that. Like it was a very beneficial afternoon. It was fun. You know, day drinking's always fun. Like I had a little buzz. It was just a good time. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, one thing you I think would be very helpful for you to make peace with is that real estate agents get hung up on. We've talked a little bit about this morning, is selling themselves. So they don't like to make prospecting phone calls because the whole point of a prospecting phone call is to get an answer to this question. Are you in the market to buy, sell, or invest? And that's icky to a lot of people. So what you need to understand is the more people I talk to, call, text, email, meet in person, all the things, the more my business is going to grow. And you just take an interest in people. You're just curious with people. And then the goal is at some point in time, they reciprocate that curiosity and go, well, Samantha, what's up with you? And you go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked. Like, did you notice interest rates are falling? Like, I need to get the word out. Like, it's time to buy. It's time to refinance. It's time to sell. It's all the things. You know, it's been like the last 3 months. Rates aren't like dropping like this. They're just dropping gradually. So there's how it works. You know, when they take an interest in you, that's when you go, gosh, I'm so glad you asked because I want to get to a place in my real estate business where I can make it full time. Right. And I'm not going to get there without your help. So if you hear of anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest, please keep me in mind. All right. That's how you do it. But Blake's right. Like I try to get in front of business owners. So I'm constantly messaging business owners like, hey, can I stop by and check out your business and learn more about it. Or, hey, I'm doing these little top 5 videos, these green screen videos. And so Saturday I popped in to this meat market. I bought some stuff. I talked to the employees there. I got their recommendations on the top 5 most popular, things that people buy at that shop, that butcher shop. And I'm going to make a video about it today. Okay. So got some FaceTime, introduced myself. Great. And people are sharing these. I'm having business owners. Sometimes I go in, I don't talk to the business owner. I'll talk to an employee, and then the business owner will see the video and he'll share it, or he'll message me directly, or she will message me directly and go, hey, thanks so much for making that video. I really appreciate it. Next time you're in, I want to let me know when you're coming in next time. I want to buy you lunch. And there's an opportunity for us to sit down and talk. So trying to grow my business through relationships, but adding value to, like, leading with value in that relationship. Does that make sense? So one of the ways you can tell if you've had a productive day in real estate is just count on your fingers how many people you had a conversation with. So the goal would be 10. Like, if you have 10 conversations a day, at least 5 days a week, all your financial issues in real estate should evaporate, right? Because you're doing what you need to do. But an appointment can also be a callback appointment. So one of the things that people really poop the bed on in real estate is that they're calling these people, just checking in to see if you're finally ready to go house shopping. Are you ready to go look at houses finally? And that is very transactional. Okay. Got to think about this. All right. How many, for the girls on the call, because this doesn't really work for us, but for the girls on the call, from men who have called you in the past going, and you can tell it's a booty call, right? All they're looking for is some booty. All right. That's all they want. And they're just, they're not asking you questions about what your favorite color is, what your favorite food is. They're not trying to get to know you. Like, where'd you go to school? What's your favorite childhood memory? They're just not interested in you. They're only interested in the transaction. You see what I'm saying? So think about, and this is referred to in our business as commission breath. Commission breath stank. It's real stinky. So you're just blowing that commission breath on people. Whereas if you are truly an extrovert, then try my method and see what works better, and just love on people. Like, oh my gosh, just text people, call people. Hey, you were on my mind today. Just want to check in. Gosh, we haven't talked in forever. What's going on with you and the fam? Other thing is we're in March. Okay. This is my time of year. All right. My favorite time of year to get outside, get outdoors. But for the parents or on the call, for the people on the call that are actually working with parents as buyers and sellers, or future buyers and sellers, what is on the horizon this month that is like a staple thing that parents need to kind of figure out to do with their kids for a week in this March, April timeframe?
Spring break.
Spring break. All right. So ideally, you would have some people in your database, some people in your contact list on your phone that you could call and check in and go, girl, let me just tell you this, okay? The power of girl power is no freaking joke, okay? So, like, I know realtors that crush it doing, like, setting up Facebook groups for moms where they talk about all kind of stuff like meal prep and what's for dinner and where are we taking the kids, what's to do here, what to do there, who's the good coaches, who's the bad coaches, who's the good teachers, who's the bad teachers, all the things, okay? But call these people and go, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing for spring break? You guys going anywhere fun, do anything? I'm out of ideas. I need some help. So it's using times of year or to kind of help figure this out, where people might be traveling to. And they might say, oh gosh, we're going down to do this thing at Crystal River to swim with the manatees down in Crystal Springs, Florida. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's been on my bucket list for years. Hey, when you guys get back? Because I want to call you like a couple days after you get back and hear all about it. All right. Now, here's a very important point. Okay. When we start talking about things like this, when we start talking about like learning, mastering, memorizing loan programs and memorizing and mastering this local sales data in the market that you're focused on. Like realtors fail to see the dividend, the immediate dividend from that. Like there's no immediate payoff. And so they're like, like asking somebody what they're doing for spring break's not going to help my bank account. You know, taking a lender to coffee to pick their brain about loan programs is not going to put money in my bank account. So they just don't see the point in doing it because there's no immediate gratification. And what you have to understand is that you need to think about this the same way, especially I just think this point is so important for females. You're not giving transactional men the time of day. I mean, all they want is time with you in the bedroom. They're probably not going to get a second date or even a first date. So you're doing the same thing to these people. You need to figure out what their hobbies are, what makes them tick, where they're from, you know, what their dreams and their goals are, all these things. Okay. And you need to make notes about it so you can reference it. So one of these appointments will hopefully be a callback appointment because you want to, you know, just stay in touch with them. You want to learn more about what they're doing, where they're going. Some of these people may be business owners. And I love to help business owners. I love to help promote business, especially people shopping local and supporting local. Love that. Just had a client that's coming in town to look at homes this week. Their son, they're from Mississippi. Their son lives here in Alabama. They're moving over here to help with the grandkids. Their son just opened a restaurant. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't wait to promote that. So any thoughts or questions based on that tirade of dialogue from me? Just get out there and love on people. There's a simple strategy too, okay? Use, like, this is so funny, right? That Blake is so dismissive or has been historically so dismissive of social media. Because I can tell you, it's not going away. It has been an incredibly crucial part of our business for decades now, really, I think. I mean, yeah, super important. But I understand his angst, right? Because, like, you know, I just can't stand a lot of the shit I see on social media. You know, it's a lot of ads, it's a lot of politics, it's a lot of this, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of stupid stuff, like somebody just making a post that says, oh my God. And you're like, what in the hell is the matter with you? Like, I mean, you trying to get us all in a panic? Just stupid stuff like that, right? But how can you use social? I've already just witnessed it. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you what Anissa's partner's name is. I know she loves this dude. I know she loves this dude from social media. Okay. That gives me some common ground. So I can use social media to self-discover talking points with people. So if I wanted to develop a relationship with Anissa and Anissa is thinking about buying or selling in Huntsville, you know, I might want to call her and go, hey, I am so inspired by your love story. Like, tell me how you guys met. Like, what's going on here? Like, most women I know can't stand their significant others. Like, what's going on with y'all? What's the secret sauce? You know, my wife hates the sound of my breathing, my chewing. Everything I do is annoying to her. What's y'all's secret? And go from there. All right. This is a stroke of genius too. So what I want you to do is not gloss, you know, over this stuff or race past it. What I'm telling you to do is just have conversations with people and be extremely curious so that you inspire them to reciprocate that curiosity with you. Go, what's going on with you? Because just thinking we've told somebody 2 years ago that we got a real estate license and they're supposed to keep that in the front and center of their brain, it's not realistic. So we constantly got to be reminding people, and they don't know we need more business. They don't even know how the freak we get paid. You need to constantly be reminding people, like, send me business, send me business, send me business.
I can put my 2 cents out here from experience.
Mm-hmm.
I usually Facebook stalk my potential clients. So then when I actually have the conversation, I have the pinpoints to see if they like dogs, if they like cats, if we have friends in common. So they already feel like they know me by the time we're going to get on the first conversation. So that really helps to turn the leads into something more than that.
What do you think they're doing? Or do you think they're reciprocating that? You think they're doing that to you as well?
Well, probably. I mean, that's
Probably,
what
yeah.
I would do.
What
you
do
know?
they see when they do that? So I want you to
Well,
be very nervous that all they would see is real estate, real estate, real estate, or
yeah.
hardly any real estate at all. It's either one or two of those. It's either like when I look at your Facebook page, like I can't hardly find a post that's about real estate or that's not about real estate. There's really no happy medium there. So you want to do the same thing with other people. You want to inspire them to be curious about you because, it appears that you like to cook or you love animals or you love to travel. You're a foodie. You love to eat out and just constantly, help people self-discover great restaurants and little hole in the wall dives and things like that. You're a family person. You like to spend time with your kids. I mean, people just bring this stuff up to me all the time. They know I like my dog. They know I like to, hike. They know I like the lake. I mean, they just constantly bringing this stuff up to me. And sometimes I don't know who the hell they are. All right. So it really, really works. But you know what Blake's goal is to grow the brokerage, to grow the business, right? And so if he was scrolling Facebook doing the same thing to learn about agents, number one, he can see agents are very narcissistic in a lot of ways. They're very vain. They love, to see their name in lights. They love to, get accolades and things like that. But he could see like who's a producer, but it may just be something simple. It could say, hey, congrats on your closing. I've been watching you. Man, you're crushing it. So it could make a simple comment about that, or it could be a comment about something else a post they made. He could see another realtor's kid is trying to learn guitar and be like, oh gosh, my kid's obsessed with guitar too. Like, where do you guys take lessons from? What are you doing to support him? Love to, get some notes on that. Yada, yada, yada. You feel me? So it really, really works. So one thing you guys could do is, this is something Diana does, and it's incredibly successful, is that she scrolls the news feeds to look for ways to celebrate her friends, her past clients, her colleagues. That's what she does. And it's not just a like, or it's not just a quick little comment, or it's not just an emoji. She tries to put a little thought into it when she makes these comments, and it really pays off big for her. Any questions about that? Any comments about that? So a lot of little things, you would want to, I think, put on a little to-do list. But one of the things is, and it's a big thing, is that your Facebook page is your digital resume. If somebody is a Facebook, typically people are going to be Facebook or Instagram people. And so your Instagram, the content on your Instagram, the content on your Facebook shows them that you're busy selling in real estate. One of the things that's going to happen with Alex, just by working on this new construction specialization, is that he's going to have a ton of content to share on like new construction and under construction listings. And people aren't going to necessarily be able to make or discern whether that's his specific business or somebody else's. They're just going to be like, man, this guy's just constantly out there in this field of new construction, learning about it, posting about it, educating people about it. And it helps them develop an identity, but also they go, man, he's busy. He's a hustler. He's a worker. So a couple things you could do that would be on my to-do list is just kind of track, like at the end of the day, have some reflection on, how many people did you talk to today? Did I talk to enough people today to grow my business? That's the name of the game. And this is really, I think, poignant for you, Samantha, because you're talking about buying leads. You want to think about this. We have known agents who have been heavily dependent on leads that they bought, but then became sphere of influence specialist agents. Like they just want to specialize on relationships, building relationships, nurturing existing relationships, and their income has grown like exponentially above and beyond what the paid leads could ever do. Right. But paid leads are great if you're in a market where you haven't lived there very long, you don't have that many contacts, I spend money on leads at the lake because I don't hardly know a soul up there, trying to break into a heavily competitive market, something most agents should really try not to do. But for me, there's an end game to what I'm trying to do. There's a retirement plan to what I'm trying to do. So to me, it's worth it. And it's worth how long it's taking to get there. Those points resonating. But if you have a lot of people in your phone that live locally, just start reaching out to them. And that's how you use your CRM, Real Geeks, wherever you use, go, all right, Sally Sue called her today. I'm going to set a reminder to call her in 2 weeks or 2 months because, they got this big trip coming up, or because their only daughter is graduating high school in May. So I definitely need to call and congratulate and send a card and do all those things. So what you just need to understand, I know the thought process around buying a lead is it really feeds into that narrative about immediate gratification too. You're like, oh, if I buy a lead, they must be hot, ready, willing, and able to buy or sell. That's not necessarily the case. Okay. So, I did a trial with Zillow here recently, spent about $21,000 on Zillow leads. And I've got my first closing on the books from one of those Zillow leads this week. So, I don't know if I'm going to profit off of that investment. My hope right now is just to break even, but I wanted to test it to see where it went, because I was running a split test between Realtor.com leads and Zillow leads, and found that Realtor.com leads are much more cost effective. And I wouldn't say they're better leads. The whole system, the way Realtor.com does it, to me, is better than the way Zillow does it. And I can kind of just jump into that and explain that a little bit if anybody's curious. But my Zillow spend with a lender picked up $1,000 a month. So my spend was a little over $3,000 a month. That's how you kind of get to the math of what my total investment was. But like Realtor.com, you can buy a market for like $250 a month. So it's so much less expensive, and you can target even the smaller zip codes that nobody wants, and really do well with that. But that's the other thing too, is that lenders are really motivated to partner with agents on their ad spend. So you can, at least Realtor.com, they can't pay more than 50% of it. So they can come in for half right off the bat. And it's a simple, easy arrangement. You can actually do it from your Realtor.com dashboard and get them to pay for it. But what I'm telling you right now is that between the contacts in your phone, and let's say the for sale by owners that need open house help in your marketplace, you should be covered up. Or we could easily substitute for sale by owners for, new construction home builders. There's not an agent on this call right now, or has been on this call this morning, that does not have a crap ton of new construction communities in their market, or a crap ton of FSBOs, or a crap ton of small business owners that need help marketing because they don't know how to do it. I mean, it's on and on and on. All right, we are about out of time here, or really over time. Is there anything else anybody needs clarity on or wants to discuss? So I'll just kind of recap what maybe you're thinking about that kind of stuff. And he said, were you about to say something? Don't lose it. Don't forget about it.
I just wanted to get a little bit more into the realtor leads. So I was looking into that, and I was comparing Zillow and Realtor because I was thinking about trying both of those. So if you have any insights.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't want to, poop on Zillow too much. I mean, I know plenty of realtors that do have they spend thousands of dollars a month on Zillow, and they do really, really well. And I'm sure if I stuck with Zillow, I would continue, that maybe I would join that club. But for me, the Realtor.com is so much more cost effective, and it's been much more consistent for me. So I think if you're going to get some Zillow leads, if you're not spending $500 a month, you're just throwing money out the damn window. So you got to spend a lot more money with Zillow. And Realtor.com, you could probably find, I don't know, I'm thinking Athens, Alabama, somewhere a zip code to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west of Huntsville, Madison, that's not very expensive, might be the way to go to try it out.
And they're still charging on those, right? Like you ain't getting out. Like they can paint a really pretty picture. I'm not siding one way or the other, but like I talked to Samantha about is it really comes down to what you're willing to do to convert that lead. And I will tell you in my experience,
Yeah.
okay, most people are just throwing money to these companies and have no intention of dialing them 15 times, emailing them 16 times, texting them 18 times.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're
Last-
still shared even with
la-
realtor.com, meaning like you have to buy out the area before you get the exclusive proximity of it. And then you're spending about $2,000. If not, you're buying a share, like they make it into a pie every area.
Yeah.
So Athens
last
is what
week I-
Jason's telling you, because Madison wouldn't even be an option.
Last week I came across of the program Homes for Heroes because I was researching something for my buyers. There, he's a cop, so I found the program and I went in the Zoom call last week. And what they charge you $1,800 a year to be a part of their Homes of Heroes, and then you're supposed to share 30% of your commission towards they're paying back to the home to the heroes basically. So I was like, well, I mean, I might as well just give discount on my commission if someone's working in first responder versus to pay $1,800 to some other platform to let me use their Canva graphics. So it was just like,
You could probably just mimic and do on Facebook. You're creative enough to market yourself as the law enforcement or first responders agent, stuff like that. But that's totally up to y'all. I'm just throwing
And
in my 2
again,
cents.
we need to keep in mind what our specialization is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first responders, veterans, a lot. I mean, that does, it's on the periphery of a new first-time home buyer type deal, but really like a veteran specialist, you have senior specialists, you really need to narrow it down. So if you have a heart for veterans, I would say, you could work up to Homes for Heroes, but Blake's absolutely right. You can coin yourself a veteran first responder specialist without joining Homes for Heroes. There's people that come up with their own like hometown hero program and do all that kind of stuff. But that's the thing, right? I mean, I think this is just a prime example of how we are so easily distracted. We have such a hard time with this very, I think, essential activity, which is defining ourselves. What is our identity? What is our specialization? What do we want to be known for? Because you can't be known for everything. You cannot be known as a jack of all trades and get anywhere. Like people aren't going to go, oh, we need a condo. Oh, we want to live on the golf course. Samantha is the specialist of everything. So we'll just call her and she'll help us figure it out. They're going to call the golf course specialist or the condo specialist. It's just pounding that rock. The other thing this does, and then we got to go, is that this helps you with your social media content. So if you see my content, I'm about 80% Lake and I still do about 20% other stuff. I'm still working with first-time home buyers and doing all these other little things, working with FSBOs, doing all the stuff because I got to pay my bills until this specialization starts paying dividends. But I don't have to wake up every morning and go, man, what am I going to do today? Because I know what I want to do. I want to promote lake properties, lake lifestyle, lake businesses. I've got 3 counties that cover Smith Lake. So I got so many small business owners and so much to do. I never have to worry about it. It's an endless supply of content. So there you go. I know for a lot of agents, they wake up and they're like, oh, I need to do social media content. I just don't know what to do it on. Anissa, if you're a first-time homebuyer specialist, you're doing content like, did you know this is the credit score you need to have to get approved for the Alabama housing loan that's at 5.5 interest rate? I think the interest rate went up maybe to 6. We need to look at that. But you go to the Alabama Housing Authority website to see what the current loan programs like a moth to a freaking flame. People go, oh shit, nobody's talking. No realtor that I know is talking about the Alabama housing loan or the lower interest. Nobody. So you when you're learning about these loan programs, you're like, oh, did you know? Hey, veterans, did you know this about the VA loan? So where are the deals? Help people find the deals. Hey, did you know USDA loan? Rural, if you want to find affordable housing, you got to go rural. There's the USDA
Yeah.
loan. So you learn all about the USDA loan. Because right now you probably don't know shit about the USDA loan. And
I do because I was looking into it for myself.
oh, well, there you go. Well, what did you learn about it while you were looking into it that you could create content about it that supports your specialization? And it's one of Diana's favorite loan programs. So just text her and go, hey, can I pick your brain for 10 minutes on, Jason said you love the USDA loan. Like, I want to do some content around it. Where would I start? What would be your suggestion? Maybe she'll say, let's jump on a Zoom and talk about it. You record it and just throw that on social media. All these people want to promote themselves, title reps, lenders, they want to promote themselves. So they'll help you with this content. Most of them, if they've got a brain in their head. All right. Anything we want to discuss before we go? Okay. Bye-bye. See you next week. Thanks the new people that showed up. Enjoy seeing some new faces.